you've got to just enjoy the fact that you have this opportunity. May never come around again. So there's Rafa's DNA there. One thing we'll look for Rafa throughout the course of this match is how many times he decides to execute the serve volley play. I mentioned it in Perth. The mind is different.
Advantage, Dellien.
Great shot. I think he might have got both sides there.
That's good power. Little pump of the fist.
The court, that one was outside the lines, but you can see you can generate some nice power. Uses the same racket as Rafa. But when it's in that middle zone in the short area of the court,
well, if you're going to invite him in, it's got to be a little bit better than that.
higher position here. That was a high starting point.
And the ball landed outside the service box.
I'll tell you what he does do well, though.
And the Spaniard intent on making a statement as early as he possibly can. You don't often see Nadal early in matches have his focus distracted, even if something is irking him.
That's brilliant. Started off with a 182 km/h second serve, so that's very.
Has 2 challenges remaining.
And there's his finish. Very complete when he's at the net.
And isn't it amazing, the top players, we often talk about what differentiates them. Wow.
Yeah, he can, and he does on this shot more so because it's a flatter ball that he hits. Serve volley out wide. It's going to the strength of his opponent, though.
He's not going to die. Crowd's loving this from the Bolivian.
Well, he pulled the trigger with the forehand that time to create this shot here, the opportunity, and he's got nice feel all around the court. He's very natural as a tennis player.
Yes.
So now the tough part.
Love 50.
Well, I keep saying, you know, Rafa's every moment's really big to the next 2 weeks looks like. So it's he's like Popeye and just taking a little bit of spinach, and he finishes that can of spinach and he gets a little stronger. He finishes the next can and he needs to do it right. That's his mentality.
And how deflating would this be after all those game points? Not yet, though.
Yes. Game, Nadal.
That is a heartbreaker for Dellien. Oh.
Again, Rafa deciding to come forward, which he should do, but this is not an easy volley. Handled pretty well from three-quarter court. That's not easy. And then winner at the US Open. Remarkable.
And he's such a proud man, Rash, that his mind would go back to 12 months ago. It's spectacular. Jet propelled.
30.
Doesn't do justice, really, to what the feel of the match. And again, making a difficult shot look elementary.
We won't see it. This is the finish here, but the backhand that he hit, this was hard. He had to pivot, move across, and again play that from outside the service line. But his backhand cross court when he stepped in and gave that a nudge.
Very good.
15, 13. Game.
An uncharacteristically sloppy game from Rafael Nadal. He won't be happy at all. The one thing Dellien won't want to change about what he's been able to do in this first. He had to work to do it, but the #1 player in the world does get it done. 6-2, and maybe that scoreline doesn't give justice to the effort from Hugo Dellien.
Be interesting to see what the scorecard at the end of this set looks like. The game style from Hugo Dellien is the same, going after the ball.
Well, he played it pretty close to what you'd expect his level to be at various times in the first set. But the thing, Rash, is that Challenger, as you said, is a good level, but it's nothing like the intensity of this, and they're not used to being on the red line for as long.
Yeah, and they just get exposed every, the unforced errors major outside of the top three. Got close in Paris.
Who's the favourite in your mind right now?
Well, I think Novak leads that, and he should probably have that favouritism. Rafa just sits underneath with Roger, even though Roger wasn't here for the ATP Cup, but he'll just go through the gears as he did yesterday. I thought he was very good yesterday.
We've seen a few times in this match that he has the ability, this man generates his own pace really well.
Yeah, he does there. He was locked and loaded. He had some really good physicality on the ball, courtesy of his legs. Good. There he's in that nice squat position early.
A little breather for the Spaniard. A solid overhead finishes a love game. We remain on serve. He'd hardly lost a point on serve in the second set, and all of a sudden throws in a game that is probably going to hand the set to his opponent. As is often the case with the great players, when the big moment calls for it, the big serve comes out. This has been a really admirable performance for the man from Bolivia, and he pumps his fist to his chest and says, "I'm giving it everything I've got." Just for once there, Rash, I reckon we saw evidence of Hugo's feet not moving just quite as quick.
Things to take place as well, and the way he would like, that was a good save there, the way he'd like to win a lot of points.
14.
It's a long way back from here now. 3 successive breaks of serve, and Nadal is 1 game away. And he stepped it up. Maybe he sensed what reset points to make a very difficult task, almost impossible for the Bolivian. And that's all it takes. We're around about an hour and a half, and he can smell this now. Rafael Nadal cruising away, leads by 2 sets to love.
Love 15.
Even then, that's serve 149.
And expect Rafa will want to keep the foot on the throat. He doesn't actually give you any breathing room. Yeah, there's not much power movement. He's able to sort of load his legs, use them. You can see there's nothing there at all with the quads. And again there, no real comeback from that position of the court.
When it's enough, it's enough. And Rafa's just about decided that time is now. On the line.
14.
Those lines there, the doubles alley. Rafa would see that. He notices those little things.
Kicked on him. 187 kilos.
Yes. Game.
Six-time lucky for the Spaniard, and that might just about take the last bit of air out of the balloon. Not that long ago, that percentage was up pretty close. In fact, it was over 90. Oh, that is magnificent.
Well, I'm not sure if Ken Rosewall's in the house, but Kenny Rosewall, one of our former greats here in Australia, had an unbelievable slice backhand, and that's about as equal.
Oh. When he hits them, they stay hit.
And it's that wing, isn't it? It's a flatter trajectory ball that he generates off that side of the court.
Well, how did he readjust himself there?
Lot 13.
Good ball striking. He took on the bounce of the Rafa forehand. Try and get it at its apex if you can. And he does that nicely.
Everybody's hitting the lines.
Way just stands up to this ball, and that's just pure strength. Accelerated and hit RPMs without looking like it.
It's getting closer now. He's given it his best, Hugo Dellien.
So there's what happens from the start of the match to now when you...
And all of that has given Nadal a green light to go for winners now. He knows that his opponent 11 clean winners already in this third set.
This, for me, this forehand down the line is probably the best that we've ever seen.
Game.
Not for the first time. Dellien guessed one way, Nadal went the other. Nearly always on that court, he's been able to do that. He might get his wish the way things are going. Just teeing off. 13 winners, 3 unforced errors in this third set.
The problem.
Yes.
Oh.
27 minutes now. This is the cleanest hitting that you're likely to see. His opponent's just got nothing left to give, has been with some of the winners that he's produced. 145 that previous one. He's putting on a clinic now. One game away, the world #1, leads 5-love in the third. That's the safest overhead in the game, just about. Well,
it's great tennis. We're seeing a bit of everything now from Rafa in this set. We've seen clean hitting off the back of the court.
A sparkling start by the Spaniard in his quest for a second crown in Australia. A third set whitewash over a brave opponent. Nadal shows his class and steamrolls his way to victory. 6-2, 6-3, 6-love.